Obviously, great opener for us. Really pleased with the defensive execution of our game plan. You never know how that's going to be, but our staff was on point with that, did a really good job, and I give our guys a lot of credit for executing that part of the game today. Just, couldn't have gone any better for us just in terms of guys getting experience, making some plays. So, yeah, just really good opener. Questions for me?
Just evaluation on the freshman, obviously ace with 18 points. Zach getting his debut as well.
Yeah.
What did you see from that group?
Yeah, Zach had a tough one, just, getting 2 fouls right away and then having to kind of come sit. But it's funny, then he had two layups where he looks like he's gliding and makes a couple plays. I thought they were all solid. I thought Ace was obviously very good. He was aggressive. He found some open floor situations and got to the rim, attacked the basket. Chase Thompson just really solid the way he played. I thought he guarded well for a young guy. The way they play, it's a lot of individual one-on-one defense, and I thought he did a good job of using his size and space appropriately. Made a couple good passes out there. Good to get Trent a couple minutes. That's good just for his experience. But no, I was pleased certainly with the young guys on our team.
In terms of the rotation, just kind of what was your expectation? Very excited last week about it. Just what did it show? Yeah,
I think you see that a lot of guys can contribute, and I thought our starters did some really good things, establishing tone and the way we were going to play older guys. So. And I was pleased with them in the second half. I kind of challenged them at one of the timeouts to go out and win the next 3 minutes, and told them that might be the end for them for the day. So they did a good job there. But we have a lot of guys that can play. I mean, we have a lot of guards that can come in and contribute. And I thought Carter did some really good things. He was efficient, and then defensively he was guarding some guards late, and played with good defensive discipline there. So, yeah, obviously this is one of those games where things are going very well and you have momentum and, everything's easy. We're obviously the bigger, stronger team, and we did what the bigger, stronger team should do.
Brad, what do you think about the variety this team offers? Like just so many different styles.
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's good. We still got to figure everybody out, and you can see at times a little disjointed. We broke a few things off, and I got frustrated a couple times because we need to stay in offense. We need to learn how to grind, and we're going to have to do that against better competition. But I do think, again, I just think we have a lot of different players that can play, and so it's really hard as a coach. All right, who are we doing it tonight? Some of it's who's playing well. Tonight you were able to get everybody about the same amount of minutes, which was good. Ace had it going today, which was good. I thought Dylan was really good early and kind of helped set the tone for the team. So Nick and RJ were, what we hoped they would be, just very solid and older, experienced players that played the game the right way. So it's good, and I think we have depth.
Where do you think three-point shooting kind of fits into this year's offense?
Yeah, I think it depends on how teams guard. Like initially, they were really trying to guard our three and doing some different things to stay home. And so the thing that I was pleased with is we attacked the basket and got fouled. I mean, do we have 40 free throw attempts, something like that? That's one thing we haven't always been great at is even last year's team, we didn't get fouled enough. And, I was kind of on Chase about that some during his career. I wanted him to get fouled more, attack, be aggressive, go. Sometimes you got to seek the contact. So I think our guys did a good job of adjusting to that today.
Speaking of free throws, you guys have 11 misses. That any concern or just kind of?
Yeah, I don't. It's hard. Nobody's trying to miss a free throw. You miss some. got a little contagious there for a while, and certainly those are going to be important points throughout the course of the season. We practice them, and confidence our guys will knock them down when they need to.
Coach, y'all were plus 15 on the glass tonight in a very well-rounded and balanced rebounding effort. What did you see from your guards assisting on the defensive glass?
Yeah, I mean, I think those guys did a good job. I think, the way the game was when you play a team like that and you're guarding, it's crazy. Last year, I think we led the country, and we were it took more time to score against us than anybody else in the country, is the way to say it. And so you're in deep shot clock situations a lot. And that means you have to sustain. You have to sustain effort and discipline, which is hard to do. We were in that tonight a lot, and it's very easy to relax. And I thought we did a good job of not really relaxing. And sometimes you relax and you don't rebound. And when you're kind of helter-skelter out there, things can get away from you. And I thought we did a good job defensively of running down a lot of loose ones.
What did you think of Zach Foster? Obviously, he had missed dunk and some shots.
Yeah, I thought he was a little nervous. I think the fouls right at the beginning really kind of threw him off. And, just then he had to go sit for a long time. And sometimes those games gets disjointed like that. But I thought in the second half he played better. And, again, I thought he had some really good attack moves where he attacked the basket in transition and showed his talent.
Coach, RJ was getting a little emotional there during the anthem at the beginning of the
Yeah.
game. What does it mean to have a guy like that back on your team, especially being older and a leader and
Yeah.
being here?
Yeah, he's been phenomenal to have back. Obviously, I missed him dearly last year, and I'm thankful that he's with us. I know he is as well. He's really helped Dylan lead this group. Dylan does a good job a lot of times with those young perimeter players, and RJ's kind of the guy that Nick and Carter and Trent and Chase will kind of lean on, and just in practice, those guys will say things that they know that need to be said, and I don't always have to do it, and because they've been around, and I certainly think there's an appreciation that RJ feels for our program and certainly the university, and so it's great to have him back. He's such a positive young man, an energy giver, and fun guy to be around every day, that he just makes everybody on our team much better.
You were saying with Trent that he had an ankle and you weren't sure. So he missed time again.
Yeah, he missed close to 2 weeks, 10 days for sure, and he's been back the last couple days practicing a little bit. But he no complaints tonight in terms of his ankle. I think he missed 10 days, and that's hard for a young big guy to miss 10 days like that. But it's good for him to get out there and get his feet wet. He made 2 free throws, which is big time, and bruised down there and got a couple fouls, which is good. And I told Coach Bender sitting next to me, he looks really good out there. Like, he's really worked hard to put on weight, and he's up above 220, and he's going to be a big kid one day. I mean, he's a really hard worker, and he just tries so hard. And sometimes we got to get him to relax. He tries too hard sometimes, but man, his heart's in the right place, and he's going to develop because of his work ethic.
Feels like Jake might not get a lot of the spotlight, but feels like he's a pretty crucial part of his team as a connector.
I thought Jake played very well today on both ends. He was just very solid, very efficient. Defensively, I thought he did a good job. He guarded their best player for a good bit. He was efficient in his shooting. It's funny, little things like he runs the floor. He gets down the floor quickly. He puts pressure. Sometimes he doesn't even get the ball, but because he's running now, the rim is open, because somebody's guarding him, and that leaves more space for the big guys or a guard to drive. He just does a lot of little things. I think that's very perceptive, and I thought he had a really positive impact on today's game.
This team has a lot of newer, younger players. How do kind of the older veterans guide them and
Yeah.
teach them?
Yeah, just in practice is where most of the work goes. Obviously, the coaches bring them in and watch a lot of film with them, but there's nothing better than mentors from your peer group. We always talk about championship teams are driven by the team and not the coaches, and so the older players in your program set the standard, set the example, and Dylan and RJ certainly are doing that with this year's team. I know RJ's talked openly about how PJ and especially even Hunter Tyson really mentored him as a freshman, and so I think that's something with consistency within our program. I think we're really proud of is the way we have older players in our program really helping to mentor the young guys. And some of those older guys even coming back in the summers and still being around these guys has been really good for them.
Coach, I saw Dylan shot the ball from 3-5 times. Is that something that you've been talking about over the course of the offseason, is challenging more as a scorer this season?
No, not really. To be honest with you, we don't. I don't know that I've talked about that with anybody. I think we just want you to play the game the right way, and that means take good shots. And I thought he took some good ones. I did think he took one or two that were one that I didn't like. But if he has 5 open threes, I want him to shoot 5 open threes. If he has 3 open threes, then shoot 3. I think when you force things, that's when bad things happen. And I think that's another thing that's not easy, because when you play so many guys, guys are going in short spurts, and some of these guys are used to playing more, especially some of the transfers, and it's not easy to get used to all of that. But I'm heavily committed to playing a lot of players. I just think that's the best way long term for our team to be successful and for our program to continue to grow.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it.